If you've been feeling on edge lately, like your body won't fully settle, this is probably the reason. And it's not what you think. My name's Darren Manser, and over the last 30 years, I've been in the health and wellness space learning everything I can to help people simply be better at whatever it is they do. So if you're not fully anxious but not relaxed either, and you're alert and tense, like your system is slightly dialed up, then this is absolutely the video for you. And if you really think about it, you've probably had days where you're focused but it feels forced. You're alert but also a bit wired. You're functioning but not fully calm, almost like your system is running in the background at a higher level than it should be. And over time, that becomes exhausting. Now, most people don't have a name for this. They just say, I feel stressed, or I'm on edge, or I can't switch off properly, and they assume it's just life or pressure or something they need to manage better. But what's actually happening is deeper than that, because what you're feeling is your body regulating something called norepinephrine. Now, norepinephrine is not something most people think about, but it plays a huge role in how you feel day to day. It controls alertness, focus, stress response, how on your system feels. When it's balanced, you feel focused and clear, engaged, but still calm. When it's too high, you feel wired, you feel tense and on edge, easily overwhelmed. And when it's too low, you feel flat, you feel unfocused and really low in energy. So this system is constantly adjusting, trying to find the right level. Now, here's where this connects to everything we've been building on so far. Just like dopamine, just like serotonin, and just like GABA, norepinephrine is not the starting point, it's the result. So instead of asking, how do I control stress or how do I calm myself down, a better question is, what's pushing my system into this state in the first place? Because your body is not randomly deciding to feel on edge, it's responding to signals. Let's make this simple. Your body's always scanning for threat, not just external threat, but internal signals as well. Things like inflammation, energy instability, gut imbalances. And when your body detects those, it increases alertness. Because from a biological standpoint, that's the safe move. So if your system senses something isn't right internally, it doesn't relax, it increases norepinephrine. It raises your baseline alertness, and that's what you feel as being on edge. Now think about this. Have you ever had a period where you feel more reactive than usual? Small things bother you more. You feel slightly tense, even when nothing major is happening. That's not just psychological, that's your system being dialed up. And once that dial goes up, everything changes. Your thoughts become faster, your body feels tighter, your ability to relax drops because your system is operating from stay alert. Now, here's where people get stuck. They try to calm themselves down while the system is still being pushed up. So they try to relax, they try to breathe, they try to switch off, but underneath the signal hasn't changed, so the state returns. This is the same pattern we've seen before. You can't fix the output without changing the input. So now the question becomes, what is pushing norepinephrine too high? Let's break that down so simple it's easy. First, unstable energy. When your energy is inconsistent, your body compensates. It increases alertness to stay functional. So even if you feel tired, your system stays on. That's why you can feel exhausted but wired. 2, inflammation, because inflammation tells your body something isn't right. And when your body hears that, it increases vigilance, which increases norepinephrine. 3, lack of recovery. If your system never fully switches off, it never resets. So your baseline slowly creeps up and what used to feel like stress becomes your normal. 4, constant stimulation. If you're always on your phone, consuming information, thinking, processing, your system stays activated. There's no space to come down. Now, here's where this becomes useful, because once you understand what's driving it, you can start changing it. So let's make this so practical it's easy. Simple things that actually work. 1, create a space for your system to come down, not by forcing relaxation, but by removing stimulation. Even something like 30 to 60 minutes at the end of the day. Lower input, less noise, less stimulation. If you try this, you'll notice your system starts to shift. 2, stabilize your energy, because energy drives everything. If your energy is steady, your system doesn't need to stay on high alert. 3, support your gut. Reduce inflammation, because internal stress drives external feelings. If your body feels safe internally, it reduces alertness. And 4, use movement strategically, because movement helps to regulate this system. If your system's too high, movement helps to bring it down. If it's too low, movement brings it up. And 5, build rhythm into your day, because your body responds to consistency. Sleep timing, eat timing, daily patterns, all of these help regulate your baseline. Now, here's the most important part. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Pick one thing, try it, then observe. Because once you start noticing how your system responds, you start understanding it. And this is where things change. Because instead of feeling like I'm stressed, you start seeing my system is being driven by signals. And once you see that, you literally have control. So instead of trying to eliminate stress, you regulate the system that produces it. Instead of forcing calm, you reduce what's pushing you into alertness in the first place. And when that happens, something shifts. You feel more balanced, you feel more steady, and you feel less reactive. Not because life changed, but because your system did. So if you take one thing from this, make it this. You don't feel on edge because life is too much. You feel on edge because your body is being pushed into a high alert state. And once you understand that, something shifts. You stop trying to handle stress better. You stop blaming your mindset, and you start looking at what's actually driving the state in the first place. Because your body is not trying to work against you, it's trying to protect you. It always is. It's responding to signals about energy and inflammation and internal stress. And when those signals say something isn't right, your system turns up alertness. That's what you're feeling. But here's the part most people never see. If your system can be pushed up, it can also be brought back down, not by forcing calm, but by changing the signals underneath. And when those signals shift, you don't just feel less stressed, you feel more balanced, more steady, more like yourself again. So instead of trying to eliminate stress, you start regulating the system that creates it in the first place. That's where the real control is. Now, here's where this gets even more important, because everything we've talked about so far, motivation, mood, stress, all of it, depends on one thing most people overlook: recovery. Because if you've never fully reset, you stay slightly elevated, slightly on, slightly out of balance. And over time, that becomes your normal. And that's exactly what we're going to be breaking down next: how your body actually resets itself, how sleep fits into this system, and why something like melatonin is not just about sleep, but about recalibrating your entire system. Because once you understand that, you stop guessing and you start working with your body at the level that actually changes things. That's where we go next. If you've enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with your loved ones. Until then, remember, healing is easy. And I'll see you in the next video.